Hello everyone and welcome to One Hub Racing. We are here for a new season, season 21, uh, and a new league racing track. It is for Miami, and I'm your commentator Brendan, and I will be joined by Liam for this season. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Hopefully you're doing well as well too. And welcome everybody to Miami, Florida.
Yeah, we are on pretty much South Beach this for this week, as we have 14 drivers in so far. We'll have some more as we wait for someone to join before qualifying starts. Obviously, it is the familiar one hub racing rules. You have the mandatory two stop. You also have engine wear, which is based on the laps you complete during the race. So, and obviously, everyone will have to take a penalty at some point in the season, especially if you do finish most races, which means you will be racking up laps for your engine. Uh, so, what would you think the strategy would be for tonight? Obviously, minimum two stop.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I've not done too much practice here around Miami, so it's a new track for me. It's a new track for everybody, so I don't think a lot of people will have raced around this track competitively in a league race. I mean, sorry about that. My English isn't very good at the moment, but yeah, first league race around Miami for a lot of these guys, so it's a bit of a learning curve. So that'll be that's going to be the big thing about tonight is people improving as time goes on here. It's an interesting track to say the least, I have to say. A very fast and flowing first sector into basically an entire straight line of a middle sector almost, and then it really tightens up at the end of the lap. So, but it's got quite a few long straights here, so I'm expecting these guys are going to have to find the correct balance again, like Spa, of downforce and straight line speed, unless you're willing to sacrifice your ability through the corners for your ability down the straights.
Yeah. But before we head into qualifying, we'll just like to give you a word about the sponsors of One Hub Racing. See if Next Level Racing sponsored league providing prizes, so make sure to check out them. Pure Sim Gear is sponsored by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to drive most combined poles and fastest laps. So, and obviously the fastest lap rule is you get fastest lap inside the top 10 gets a point, and then fastest lap outside the top 10 gets a point. So no matter where you are, you will have something to race for. You're going to check out Gamergoo as well. They provide Gamergoo samples to trophy winners. And also check out partners. Vespertine partnered and they support one of the championship prizes. ERT, who partnered ERT going against Tough Ward and do trophies. And SimGrid, which is what One Hub is run through for their seasons. And which is a very useful tool for us in the commentary box, as we will have access to the standings in real time. So now we've 16 drivers. We are going to be heading into qualifying very, very soon. But I mean, just in a moment, it won't be too long. So we have some mainstays from of Tier 4. You have the likes of Indecisive, Jason Infamous, combining there for a lineup that was very much at the forefront of last season on the previous game.
Forefront in pre-season as well.
Well, Jason more so than Infamous. I think Infamous has regressed a little bit from what we know in the pre-season race, but ultimately, while pre-season can be a chance to lay down a marker, it does not mean the be-all and end-all, as, well, for one thing, you don't get points for us.
That is very true. And speaking of Jason and pre-season, we have got our driver of the day press conferences from last week when you asked Jason if he was expecting to be so quick and if he was going to be a front runner this season. He replied saying absolutely not. I had so many problems in the last week of the game, but he finally found a good setup and his pace is back. His qualifying lap was insane and he worked as hard and everything had worked the exact way he wanted, that it was the absolute limit for him in qualifying, and then everything really just came together in the race for him. And then, speaking of our other driver of the day nomination, I gave it to Jess, and I asked her if, considering she slipped under the radar quite a bit during the race, I asked her if that was her plan for the rest of the season, and she just came out and says she's getting more comfortable as the race went on, and she just tries to keep out of trouble as much as she possibly can. So I guess that's why she's really good at slipping under the radar, I suppose. But our main goal is to be more involved in on-track battles to try and challenge herself. But yeah, she's a talented driver, and I think she can do quite well. And she's planning on scoring regular points this season. I don't see how she can't.
Well, yeah, there's always an opportunity for things. I see 18 times the grid's filling up, so we should get some good competition throughout the grid. As you mightn't necessarily be pole you're fighting for, but it could be something. Could be maybe just at the head of the midfield, which might be the target for you. Who knows? Miami, obviously, some people probably haven't done a league race here yet, depending on what leagues they do. So that
A
would
lot of people
mean,
might not have done much practice here either.
yeah. So it is you could see some people make mistakes that they wouldn't normally make if it was a track like Spa, that they would know from like previous games, even if the handling is a little different.
That is very true. They've got a whole new handling model and all that, but I'm expecting good things from today's race, so I'm going to ask you, who's your money on before we go into qualifying? Who do you think, based on what we saw last week, even though some of the guys might not have turned up last week, who is your favourite to win? And that's not just to you, it's to everything, so please who your favourite is for the championship.
You'd have to say, based on last week, Jason would be the consensus favourite, because, well, he claimed pole in a dominant fashion, and then even so, he did have to work a little bit to get that race win in the end, but he got it. He came through, and you would say maybe someone like well, you did have Rageman here last week, and he is here again this week. He also had some very good pace. Realistically, it is pretty much anyone's game at the moment, because obviously last week some people mightn't have put in quite the practice that they would normally put in. So, well, as we can see, we are ready to go for qualifying here in Miami. So, at the moment, it's all up for grabs. See, last week you didn't get points, but now it's a chance to get points here and
Well, it counts.
make a statement for the season.
Yeah, this is where it counts for everyone. Pre-season is over and done with. This is where it starts. This is the important part now. So go out there, show them what you've got, show everybody watching what you've got, show all your competitors in the tier what you've got, and let's hope they put on a show, as Gaza is in the comments saying he thinks TTG King will win this season. So alright, Gaza, I see who you've got your favourites, and he's also having me on the wind up, considering last night's football, which I'm very sad about, but we don't talk about that here. But yes, into qualifying we are now. So 16 minutes for all of these guys to impress us with their amazing driving skills. I'm expecting some upsets, quite a few upsets, and a lot of guys will be very happy, a lot of guys won't. So here we go, waiting on somebody going out on track now.
Yeah, we are seeing the first few out. I believe we have seen these Red Bull, Haas, AlphaTauri. So some cars already popping out. Actually, Haas, AlphaTauri, Red Bull.
There's quite a few cars coming out now.
Yeah, you have them starting to pop out now. Honestly, when you come out, your tyres, they are cold enough. As that is going to change with this new game. Probably to be in line with real life Formula 1. Your tyres are not that warm when they come out because you probably don't have tyre blankets for it this time.
It's a big thing this year, full tyres, so
yeah.
Just waiting on everyone. It looks like the first pass in. Crossline to start a lap will be Jason as he comes into the end of this lap, and this is where it all tightens up. So arguably the most difficult, definitely the most difficult section on the track here. This extremely tight chicane. Look how awkward that must be on the drivers. And he's out onto this massive straight, and he's going to have to weave as much as he can to get into his tyres as Jason gears up to be the first flying lap of the season. So I'll allow you to take us away here.
Yeah, no problem. So you exit out of the turn 17 and then through the kinks of 18, 19. So heading out, starting straight, the first DRS straight into turn 1. Make sure your braking's right. And now through 2, make sure you just keep the car stable. And now through 3, so not too bad here. Now, so you've go through the first couple of corners. Now into the 4, get as close as you can. You maybe want to be touching them curbs a little bit. And now through this long left-hander where you have to just carry the momentum and then get a decent exit onto this long straight. Through the second, there's 3 DRS zones. You pick up the DRS, might pick up even a distant toe. And down towards turn 11, which would be one of the prime overtaking spots of this racetrack. And now through, this is a really twisty and windy bit to get right. It's named to not take the, oh, yeah, that's say, indecisive there, did not really get out of the way too much there. It was a bit, very much, just dilly-dallying. That might be something Jason wouldn't be too happy about, but now you're down the final straight into the final braking zone of turn 17. We've seen Bottas get it wrong in the exit before, but well, nothing wrong for Jason here. Through 19, and it is a 129.3. So
first competitive lap of the season there, as we have a Haas that's invalidated in the way up to the line.
I think Jess is our next time. 29.7, so she's not in P2. Now if we see, I believe we have an Aston Martin of Chris to set a time here. So it's up 29, and this is the one in the 30s, 130.4. Move on to Mega Gamer, 129.3. That's competitive with Jason now, so not too bad for the Aston Martin. Infamous 132.8. I have to assume that isn't a representative lap. So far as about 29.2 OC. For reference, the pole time in real life Formula 1 was a 128.7 by Charles Leclerc. So that, I would say that time could be reached as it's about half a second ahead of Jason at the moment. We have some other times in. Kingen starts in behind Jess, who is also in the Williams. So Williams seem to be in a fairly competitive with each other.
Indecisive crosses the line.
34.4. I'd have to assume that isn't representative, as anything could have happened on the lap there. As if you see the ERS levels, they are low, so that means you can't go for 2 push laps in a row.
Rage Man on a lap. He's coming up the back straight towards the final corner.
Have to keep an eye here and see what Rageman can do, as he's certainly been someone who's had pace in this tier. And obviously things it could change, he could be even quicker maybe, so, but now we'll find out in a moment. It's a 129.5, it is good enough for P4, about 11 thousandths behind you having a good base. So 2 stalwarts of one of tier 4, knocking out the second row for now. We have half the drivers.
Matthias is on a lap in the middle sector. So here we go, he's going to keep it not as tight as he wants through there. And he's going to have to open the chicane up as much as he can over the bouncy curves, get as wide as you can to get a good exit onto the straight. Off he goes.
Yeah.
In this massive back straight up towards the final corner. Let's see what's going on as he breaks into the final corner. Nice and tight on the apex, gets it nice and wide to get as much speed as possible. Through the kinks, the last 2 corners.
Off does it. PA. Oh, his teammates had a little off there.
We've got Kaya just starting a lap. Has gone very wide at the turn 1. Anyone else on the lap? We've got Mason on the lap now.
Yeah.
Going through the S section, he's going to use those curves to get the car turned down as much as possible. And you're going to have to hold it out wide here for this long left-hander. Cut in now and launch it down this massive straight. But here we go. One of 3 DRS zones on the circuit. DRS wide open, halfway down into the main overtaking zone on the circuit, I imagine. Here he goes.
Yeah. It's not too
He's keeping it nice and and he's driven into a
Oh, that's a big
and he's been hit by behind. And Kaya's out. And
Oh dear.
The grid penalty.
Oh well, I think we've caught a big incident already in qualifying. It's now Kia, and Matthias has got 5 seconds for that contact, and I think that would probably be deserved, given he was very much stopped in the middle of the track.
Not 5 seconds, it's a 5 plus grid penalty.
Oh yeah, 5 plus grid penalty, sorry.
So
My apologies.
he clearly spun it going through that right-hander there in sector 2, that longer right-hander, and he's clearly spun it there, and Mason's obviously not paying attention to what's going on his minimap, and failed to notice the hass until it's too late, and then Kaya just can't do anything and goes into the back of it. As up to the line comes Jamie now. It is provisional pole, a 129.1 from Jamie. It's a very good lap.
Now Jamie if you saw last season, was able to put up some good form. Season's opening round in Japan, where he managed to use the 2-stop rule to his advantage and had to complete his 2 stops before a safety car came in. So therefore he was able to jump up to P1, and he wasn't causing. So he managed to take the win, even though others did have a
being
pace.
held up by Baza, it looks like. Baza's also on a flying lap. Yeah, but Baza is either on a cooldown lap and has refused to move out of the way of Infamous.
Oh
He's
well.
spun it and he's in the wall.
I
So
suppose
he's
he.
blocked Infamous's lap there,
Yeah.
going through that the end of the middle sector, and then he just spun it into a wall and caused even more chaos.
We'll see.
As Fozzie Bear is on his way down to the final corner as well to complete his flying lap.
I do have some news for you, as it was couldn't pit, but I have some news. According to the task system, it is going to rain at some point during this race, around 30 minutes in, so that may decide some strategies.
It's very true. Half an hour in, that's... Ooh, Jason is 2/10 down there through first set. Going through sector 2 now, here we go.
That's
He's
oh.
cut the chicane.
I thought that was going to be a really nice run through, but it hasn't
Looked
quite
like
worked
it.
that way.
It really looked like it, didn't it? That he had it nailed on almost, but it wasn't. But you having a giggle in the Ferrari is going to be the next man to start a lap, followed by, I believe it's Kingen in the Williams. So as they're coming down the back straight, let's see which one going first. Is he going to let Kingen go, or is he going to go for it himself? He's going to need to back up and get himself a little bit of space here, as you having a giggle has gone for it here out of the final corner. DRS open onto the start finish straight. He's going to need to keep it as far to the left as he can, braking and going to get nice and tidy on that apex through the first couple of corners. Very nice here, and here we go into the S section. He's going to want to use the curbs here to help him turn that car in, and he's going to want to keep it as much momentum in this car for as long as possible through here and launch it down this straight. Here we go. No DRS for the first half of the straight almost, and DRS is now open for the second half of the straight, as down towards the hairpin and main overtaking spot, one of the main overtaking spots, kept it nice and wide, swooping into the left hander, just missing that apex, not keeping it as tight as other people have through that twisty section, and he's not got the best of runs through this chicane. He's going to keep it nice and wide and carry momentum through this left hander.
Decent run onto straight.
Good run onto the straight, down towards the final braking zone of the circuit, another main overtaking zone. We've got yellow flag sector 3. I think some people are slid into the pit as he hits the apex nicely through that left hander, through the last two kinks on the circuit. What is it going to be? To 29.2.
Good luck to third. Yeah, it's not too bad for the Ferrari.
Higgins also in. He seems to have made a mistake. Matthias is almost a second up, I think. I'll need you to confirm that for me on Taz if you could. But he's flying down the back straight now. Into the braking zone he goes, braking about 100 metres or so from the corner. Doesn't hit the apex as well as you having a giggle did. But out of the last few corners to come, what is it going to be? Not pole, it's P10 for Matthias.
It is an improvement, so I can take that with a little bit of confidence. But I think that's
Giggle's gone for it again here.
That would not be a great idea.
He's running very low on the ERS side of things. He's not really hooking those left wheels over that inside curve. Well, we've got
Mega Gamer first on to 28.
Voila! As Jason is coming out now.
No, he's not going to improve here. The second sector was down so much. Just get into the pits and go for one more push lap.
He's listening. He's definitely listening to you. How long have we got left in this session? Because I can't
3 minutes. Take it to round 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes remain enough time for one more lap each. Everybody's going to come in and bolt on the last set of tyres. We've got some guys out on track. We've got Baza here who's coming through the hairpin at turn 17, I believe it is. Through the kinks of 18 and 19.
Don't think this will be the quickest of laps, but it is good enough for 14th. So ahead of his Mercedes teammates, although they are improving. It is, yep, Mercedes swapping places. Basil out. Although I don't think Basil was going to get around. That's a bit of debris on the track.
Although Indecisive is having to back off here because of all the traffic coming out of the pit lane. Now he's rammed! That's surely qualifying over for Indecisive unless he goes again. As we've got Fozzie Bear on a lap. Easter's coming into sector 2. A 5/10 improvement through the first sector from Fozzie Bear. Let's see how he does for the remainder of his lap. And it's darkening up here. We won't get any rain as TGW has left the session. Fozzie Bear braking hard here. Just clipping that inside curve. He's going to keep it nice and tight through here. It's not the tightest, but it is quick. And he's going to have to widen the chicane, and he's not got the best of runs through there. It looked quite awkward, and it's not a very wide line through that hairpin there.
Found time there, even still.
Has found another 10.
We are heading now down towards the final braking zone. This can make up a lot of time if you nail it. You see here, just very nice exit out of there, so that will probably gain Fozzie Bear a bit of time. Where will this Alpine go? It's good for 10th. Exactly the same as Infamous.
So we've got Rageman here who's 3 seconds down.
And
he's abandoned it. Jason here is quite a bit down. I think Jason is gearing up for his last flying lap. But Jamie beginning his final flying lap. You have the Giggle still on an out lap. He is round the final corner, so it's going to be through the top, from second to fourth. It will be Jason crossing it'll be Jamie crossing the line first. Then it'll be you having the Giggle, and then it'll be Jason. So will any of these three be able to snatch pole
Williams
here?
off there.
It's Jeff. It's Spun.
Yeah, it's
Jamie
qualifying over. I'd say.
He's a 10th and a half down on his time. So Jamie's got it all to do here. He's got to find 3/10s in his last few sectors.
Well, that's the flag.
Having the Giggle is you have the Giggle is 2/10s up here. Jason, what is it going to be?
Oh, he's tapped the wall.
2.5.
But that's a very nice run through.
Oh, a little bit squiggly from Jamie there. He's not. He's left. You have the Giggles turn through the chicane. What's it going to be? Are any of these guys on for pole today?
Yeah, the Giggle mate. That
could
is
be on for you. Have the Giggle. That is some very good time. As Jamie's out of the final few corners now, up to the line. Is it an improvement?
Jason's now up in his time.
Yes, it is by a 10. Jason abandoned his time or what? Or
no,
not,
he actually is up in his time now. He's managed to find a lot of time.
Giggle is out of the final corner. What is it gonna be? It is
provisional
pole so far. Jason doesn't get a very good run out with that hairpin. He bounced off the curb. I don't think this might not be enough for pole. No, it's not.
No.
It's going to be P4 for the Red Bull. You have the Giggle, has taken pole, followed by Mega Gamer, Jamie, and Jason to round out the top 4. Rageman sneaks in 5th, with Jess performing very well in her Williams in 6th.
So that is a very interesting qualifying. You have a good managed to snatch pole position there, right at death, improving where others couldn't. So here is your qualifying results. So you have Gigglemate in the Ferrari, takes pole, quite like a certain other Ferrari driver in real life at Miami, followed by the Aston Martin of Mega Gamer in P2 was on pole for most of the qualifying until Ferrari snuck in the end. Jamie P3, Jason P4, Ridgeman P5, Jess P6 in the Williams, King P7, Chris P8, King in P9, first appearance out top 10 in his Alpine, Infamous P11, Matthias with 5 plus group penalty 12, Mason 13th, Inside P14, Basil 15th, Denrod 16th, Kaya 17th, and TJW 18th, Timo in 19th. That is your qualifying for this first ever for a F1 hub into Miami. So now into the race, especially with this rain, this could be anyone's game.
I'm very interested to see that top 4 throughout the race. It's gonna be an interesting one to say the least. They're all very close. It's about 3 tenths from first to fourth, so those guys are ones to certainly look out for. So I am interested to see how the strategy plays out. We've got Ferrari on pole, just like real life. The question is, will they have a sound strategy, unlike real life? Ferrari lads. That is the big question.
Yep, so now here we are. Obviously formation lap is off. That is a detail we need to note here, so you won't really get a chance to warm up these tyres. You are going to just have to hope you know what a good start, what is the key to a good start really. We won't really get much of a chance to check strategy here, but yeah, I would say now with that rain you might see some people going a bit longer, or maybe going a bit more aggressive to maybe get some stops in.
You get one stop out of the way before the rain.
That would be a good solution.
As we are lined up on the grid, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go here in Miami. It's an excellent start from Mega Gamer. It's an even better start from Jamie. The Ferrari is round.
From pole position, the Ferrari is round. Off the start, Baz is now out.
Jamie now leads this race.
We are on the safety car now, so we can get a bit. We can get some of this mess figured out because
we can calm it down a bit now. I'm not too sure what's happened. I saw
our front row is now 17th and 18th.
Yep, our front row are now the last 2 drivers on the grid. I was on board with Mega Gamer off the start, and I just witnessed as Jamie pulled up in between him and you having a giggle, and it all just went downhill from there. But the Ferrari looks to be intact, whereas that Aston Martin is missing the front wing. Jamie's car's intact. Will he stop and get off of those soft tyres? Jason behind surviving the start as well. Jess up to third.
Then on 5 seconds.
He might have just tapped the back of the thing in through section. You know how these games are. Slightest collision under safety car, that's a penalty.
And fun fact, the only person who stayed in their original starting grid position was Chris, who has remained P8, but well, I do believe that came at the cross of an end plate, so I think he's going to come in and stop. This could be an opportunity to
Mason and TGW's in. You have the Giggle stays out. So hard tyres going on the McLaren. Hard tyres on the Ferrari as well. As well as mediums going on Matthias's and Kaya's cars. Got a fresh set of softs on Rageman's car. Got a fresh set of mediums on Mega Gamer. So they've got an interesting strategy choice here. Do you go for the hards and mediums and go long, or do you go for a fresh set of softs and go short? Because bear in mind, we might not get any rain at all, because we know how this game is. These games are, it could say it gets rain, but we'll never get it. You know how F1 is in real life, it says it'll rain and then it suddenly starts raining after the race.
This would bring the rain a little more forward if it is to come.
Yeah, it could bring it forward 5-10 minutes.
Oh, see, we have the task here, so we are able to see what would be the expected rain. It is also meant to dry up before the end of the race, or well, by the time an hour passes. And if you get a couple of safety cars, you could see rain come and then go again.
That would make things very interesting, I have to say. Rain,
Well,
we get a
T-Ball's
bit of
now got
rain halfway through the race, ends straight at the end.
No. You have Nagigame has now managed to sneak up back up to P11 thanks to others having to pit. So he's near inside the track position is
I don't think a lot of them had the pit, they just chose to get one of their stops out of the way.
you see Denrod just doing that now, but presumably also to get rid of a penalty.
Yeah, you'll be getting rid of that 5-second penalty. There's T-Ball, he's still got his. As Denrod gets rid of his penalty now, he is bolting on a set of medium tyres. So, and now we wait. Rageman is in as well, he's on a set of hard, so that's his 2 stops out of the way.
That could be a very good call here.
Kaya is coming for softs, that's 2 stops out of the way for Kaya. Oh. Yeah, Kaya stopped twice, Rageman stopped twice. As T-Ball is the only driver on the grid with a penalty still, as Denrod got rid of his. We'll have a quick look at the race director for any track limits. We've got Jamie on a warning for track limits on lap 1. Other than that, no one else has corner cutting penalties.
That warning will stick with Jamie probably. You're gonna have to be thinking about that.
And here we come through. Oh, we've had a bit of a pile up here. What's going on? Further back, as they're all tripping over each other at the back to get through that chicane. It's safety cars in this lap.
Yeah,
so
we will be going
on board with Jamie as he will lead the pack away. It's a bit like last season. He's taking the lead in the first race of the season. Will he be able to take the first one of the season? The tidiest of exits there from Jamie, but
letting
he's
it
not flooring
go
it just yet. Leave it, and he's
went
going
now. Jason hasn't been tricked here. He's gonna.
Nope.
He could dive down the inside if he feels like his tires will work.
Nope.
No, he didn't dive it, but Jamie's compromised. He had to go deep, but it doesn't seem like Jason's got enough here. Probably just needs a little more heat.
Jason's just sitting patiently, waiting for the back straight, for that big straight to come up.
You see, true set.
Left-hander, not the best
7.
exit for
Oh,
Jason.
someone's King has had enough, and is down to 10th place at the just ahead of the first person who stopped. Probably dropped the car, but kept it out of a wall. As you see, you have the Giggle Mate starting to recover a bit, and already making up a couple of places. As Indecisive as going off a little bit there. So now you see the Ferrari all over Devo. Will Devo be able to keep that place? I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Devo, to be honest. He's gaining, but actually not by enough. Mate is
infamous. It's back past King in. They've got a nice little scrap between these two going on as Jason seems to be struggling to get a bit close to Jamie here. Really get close through the twisty sections. Just stuck looking at the back of the McLaren as further down the field, having a giggle, is still trying to chase down that Alpha Tauri. Is even on the hards, the guys on the hards. Whoa!
Oh,
T-Bow's out.
Oh, he's just lost it there. Oh, that's another
safety car.
We had a safety car after about 3 corners on lap 1, and after approximately
a lap of racing, we've got another safety car.
This could prompt some people to make a stop now. Some people to make 2, or well, to make another one.
Off the likes of Jamie and that, this gives him the chance to get Bennett off of these soft tyres. Jamie, Jason, Jess, Fozzie Bear. A lot of these guys shouldn't stop on the soft tyres. This is their chance for fresh set tyres. If you look off in the distance, you can see it getting a little bit darker.
Yeah.
So it's just darkening up a little bit, so this is just hastening the rain basically. So if it does rain earlier than expected, as you said, it does dry up after an hour. So we could be going from dry to wet, back to dry again, so that's gonna throw a big spanner in the works.
Jamie is liking to stay out, but Jason is in. We have split strategies here for the top 2. Jess stays out. Fozzie Bear's in. We have very much split ideas as to how Gavin Giggle may decide to stop. This will promote a lot of these drivers who stopped to the first safety car up the grid now. So they will already have 1 stop done. Obviously if the rain comes then, they've got 2 stops no matter what, because then you'll have to switch over to maybe intermediate tyres, or maybe, I don't think it'll be a case of where it's 2 dry for inters but 2 wet also for slicks. We're not going to get that grey area in my opinion, but you never know.
What, these guys out front still haven't stopped yet. So from first down to 6th, they've all not stopped. Well, everyone else has stopped at least once, so... And from, I believe it was everyone from... Yeah, everyone from 6th, well, from 7th down, almost everyone are on either the hards or the mediums, apart from Smithy Chris and Kaya. So those guys could possibly make it through the rain. We'll have to wait and see. These guys on the soft are taking a very big gamble going until the rain possibly, but safety car number 2, who was expecting this to start the season?
Well, I suppose new track, obviously some people are bound to make it.
This will probably be our last lap under safety car conditions, I imagine.
I would say so. We have every driver now here. Let's see. Mistaken. Some drivers here do have a little bit of damage. Kingen has slight damage to the front wing, and Matthias has a little more. Then Jason has a little less damage than Matthias does. But Smithy Chris has got 20% of the left part of his wing gone, so I'm not sure as to why he didn't pit, because he would at least been able to fix the damage without losing track position, because it would have been impossible to lose that position.
True, the sky is darkening here in Miami.
Yeah, it
Be
is not
prepared
the sun.
for the possibility of a bit of rain here. Through the final. I thought I saw rain droplets on there, but my eye must be playing tricks on me.
Oh, no, but it is getting dark. And it is getting
Safety car
kind
is
of
actually
greenish.
seeing. I think I'm seeing raindrop. Maybe seeing little droplets of rain, but I think I'm just seeing things.
No, but it's getting very, very overcast. So,
Yeah.
but now, Jamie, you might want to use all you have in them softs because you could be in a bit. Don't know what could happen here if this rain catches you. So now, yep, you've
Going.
went. So
Caught
still all
Jess a
dry.
little bit off guard.
Well, I don't think Jess is under much
King
threat.
is
Oh, Rafe.
lining up Infamous, and he's up the inside the Jess as well. Jess
Yes.
hangs around the outside. Kingan's knocked a bit of Infamous's wing off there. As TTG King is now trying to fight his way past Infamous.
Oh yeah,
So
Infamous
there we go,
has
the
been
Alpha
passed.
is back up to 4.
Straight from
He's got
Infamous.
yellow
Oh,
contact
with
to
Ferrari
one.
off. That's our pole sitter. You have the Giga, mate. Is off the. Has had an off there and is now
Rageman is still in
16th.
the pits, by the way. Back in the pits again. As TTG King is currently furiously burning his ERS to stay ahead of Infamous in the straight.
Yeah, it's just still. And hard
TGW.
tires won't be great.
Oh, we've got a bit of a battle
Oh.
with TGW, and Jason's found a way past both the Ferrari and the Mercedes here. Looking
TJ
at
had a
Mega
look
Gamer
there.
ahead. Mega Gamer lining up that Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo. Jason behind him is Matthias is
Oh,
out.
Matthias out. Is that another safety car? It is. It is.
Another safety car. Jesus.
We are under safety car
If
once
you're
again.
rain, it's raining now. It's most certainly raining now. Jamie's still not coming in. Neither is Jeff. Neither
No.
is King in.
Don't.
Infamous is though, because I think he has to change his wing. DG King is also in.
Don't think Infamous is being damaged, though. No,
I
doesn't.
saw a bit of wing come off when
Or maybe that.
King in went past.
No, but on the task it doesn't show.
Alright, well I saw a bit of an in plate come off.
Oh,
something.
Inters from Mega Gamer.
And it's early, but it's a big call. Indecisives on them as well. It's early, but maybe he thinks he can make it work. If he does make this strategy call work, this could be genius from Mega Gamer and Indecisive here. This could be a genius strategy call. But what if it doesn't get wet enough for Inters?
Yeah, we don't know what it could bring.
It could get stuck in a grey area where it's too wet for dries and too dry for Inter.
As I do remember seeing. Oh, I seen raindrops now. I
saw them
at turn 7.
the last lap around on Jamie's car going up that back straight towards the hairpin in the final few corners. I saw raindrops on his car there. But the track remains dry for now. When is the crossover point coming? How quickly will it get here? You'd think the likes of Indecisive and Mega Gamer are going to be praying that crossover point gets here sooner rather than later compared to, well, as well as Jamie and Jess as well. Those guys out with the soft. They're going to be praying for it to come quicker.
Well, at the moment, I'll teach you them. And then, there's some safety car shenanigans going on here. But if you do watch, Jamie stays out, Jess stays out, King in, Jason. think everyone here is gambling on the 6 still being the better tyre for long enough that it wouldn't matter if they didn't pit. You see, Wagon the Giggle Mate is
Safety car
in.
shenanigans going on again as you have the Giggles in, followed by TTG King.
Inters.
You have the Giggle is on the Inters. King
TTG
is
soft.
on softs again. Biffy Chris is on Inters. It's serving a penalty, I think.
You see, I think King is gambling on on brand new softs being the best tyre for this kind of cool condition.
Yeah,
Hamilton, Germany 2018.
I think he's just counting on it having the most grip out of all the tyres. So it should hopefully be the tyre that will help him the most in slipping.
No, you see the rain now.
Yeah,
If you go on board with King, you see there's just drops starting to pour. Whether we have to see if it will intensify.
This is certainly looking like quite a genius strategy call from the likes of Mega Gamer. Indecisive, you having a giggle on Smithy Chris. I think Jamie's going to be praying that this crossover point is here within the next 2 or 3 laps.
Either way.
Back straight under the motorway they go. As I'm seeing sunlight still on the cars.
It's in. It's in.
The car is coming in.
Depending on how this rain goes, whether it's this the most or we're going to see more, this could really decide who wins this race. It could be Jamie, or it could even be someone like Mega Gamer, who's down the field but on the intermediate tyre, so it could be right tyre, right time. You see Jamie now.
I hope it's not just
an alright
me,
restart.
It's a good enough restart. I hope it's not just me, but it certainly looks like the water is starting to collect on the track as Jamie goes very deep.
Easy. You have to see now. Oh, did Mason's round. And Chris is out for good measure. But I think that will not bring out a safety car because it was so close to just the restart.
I think it's certainly time for the intermediates.
Mega Gamer up to PA.
Mega Gamer is carving his way through the field at the moment. Look at him go.
Is he even still? I don't know if he's struck, but the Alpine's clearly struggling. He's round.
All these dry tyre runners are seriously struggling here. It's
yeah, you see it now. The intermediates are working. Mega Gamer using these two advantage. Rageman using fresh air softs to his advantage by making the pass on Kia. So
King is back past Indecisive. Indecisive is struggling a bit on his Inters, but you have the Giggle doesn't look to be struggling all that much. He's right on the back of Mason through the end sector 2 here.
As you see now, there's a change for a second. Jason using them fresh mediums to get past Jess, and well, you see late braking. Jess's softs are just at this point they are.
No, Jamie's staying out. No, he's coming in.
He's coming in. I think
Jason
he's
is staying out.
Too much for him.
Is staying out. Jess in for Inter. Denrod is in.
Only thing is, let's see the tyre.
Out. King is staying out. Kaya is in.
What tyre is Jamie go for? It's Inters, so I think
look at the guys that have stayed out, and look at Mega Gamer. He's so close to the back already.
This has been a genius strategy call from Mega Gamer to go for the intermediates, as that safety car has ensured that he got the right tyre, right time when everyone else was wrong tyre, wrong time.
Yep.
You see now, it's
all the yellow flags.
Oh, that's Ferrari.
It's not Rageman who's
Rageman actually. Yeah, I thought it was a Ferrari there for a second, but it is Rageman who's no front wing.
Is that safety car?
Yes, it is a safety car. That does mean Jason might get a little lucky here, I suppose.
As Rageman has cost the safety car because he was unable to point his car back in the correct direction.
So in a way it benefits Rageman as well, his own crash, because now he doesn't lose connection to the pack.
Yeah, it's only been a dramatic one so far. We're only 12 laps in, and this has been one of the most chaotic.
Oh, Jason can barely make the last corner.
Oh, he's sliding all over the place here, Jason, but he is
Across the line to get in. Wait, that was a VSC. VSC, we are going again. We are back under racing speed. So that is the 4th safety car or VSC we've had. And we haven't even approached halfway, so it has very much been a stop-go race.
For speeding into the pits because he couldn't slow down quick enough.
Some people badly caught out here. It's just not going their way today. But Mega Gamer, who had been on the front row, then dropped down right to the back at the start, had a 5-second penalty to serve, did the stops, then put on the inters, and now
having a giggle is all over the back of Indecisive here. The battle to pay attention to.
He's using an ERS. He will be able to challenge here at the very least into turn 11, which is the prime overtaking spot. I was in the wet, no DRS, but clearly a bit of slipstream is helping an ERS. Oh, a little bit of contact there through 12, now 13.
Any space at all.
No, he's had to give it up there. That was not a place you wanted to go stick a nose in.
It looked like he's tried to squeeze in a bit too much. But he's just kept in there and maybe able to get to work. But Jamie looks to be the next one gaining on Indecisive as Mega Gamer's just pulled out an enormous gap. He's 10 seconds clear at the moment. It looks almost like nobody's going to catch him.
It's
the closest battle we have had on track for the moment is TTG King hunting down Kaya. He has no ERS left at all. The AlphaTauri is completely out of ERS. Here comes King on the start-finish straight. He's going to sweep around the outside of that AlphaTauri, who has no ERS left to defend itself.
But will the inside help here? Oh no, King now is the inside. It's just, I don't know. I think he is might have to turn off the ERS unless it's stuck. Which in case
I don't think you do get your ERS stuck on. I think they've forgot to turn it off. And it's just really hindering them. Really get jammed on as Jamie's on the back of Indecisive now. Let's see what defence this Mercedes can put up.
Let's see now.
Jamie very shallow line through that chicane on the Mercedes. Oh, Jamie had a look.
That's compromised his exit badly. Won't get position here. As you see, almost a second loss there purely because the eggs so compromised down to stick behind another car through that wet section of a wet chicane, really.
I don't think it was being stuck behind Indecisive that was the problem. It was just it was the fact that he seemed to have a look up his inside and backed out. It's cost him a lot of time. As Jess is now within 6/10 of him.
Yeah, you see now. Jess is starting to close up. I think this will be a bit of a problem for Jamie. He would need to start gaining a bit here in this section in order to make the most of any slipstream he'll get here. You see, so the two who were in front row and went to the drop to the back of the start are now back as 1 and 2. You see them just cleared off. Jamie, who managed to snatch the lead earlier on, is now just having to go and see if he can close up here for the last spot on the podium. It's just close, but not close enough.
Oh, Indecisive's got very deep there.
Very deep.
That allowed Jamie the ability to possibly go around this outside here,
No,
but
it's just not going to work though. Can't
close.
push the car so much there.
Indecisive's got a very awkward line through that chicane. It's going to give Jamie. Nope, he's still not got the opportunity.
Once again,
Jamie looks to get close enough.
You see Jason now. Well, Jason's got past Jess very easily. Doing a much better exit on the car ahead than Jamie was able to do with Indecisive.
I don't think his line was compromised onto that straight. Because the main thing with Jamie, every time he looks to be close enough to have a look, up the inside of that Mercedes, he just backs out of it. It really cost him time down that straight, and if he doesn't get it done shortly, I think Jason will have him. Let's look at this. For the first few corners, look how close Jamie gets to the back of that Mercedes car.
You see now. Oh, someone's off. Oh, that's the other Ferrari. TJW. Pit stop here. So now the racing has.
Oh, Jamie's round the outside here. And a long left-hander. And he's off of the corner well.
Yeah, but
seems to have the straight line speed.
But look at Jason. He's gonna get the both. He's gonna try pulling inside here. He's now got Citric for Mercedes. Touched. This could be 3 wide, heading into turn 11, but Jamie backs off here. And so Jason, they both went deep.
Both off.
So Jamie's
got both of them almost.
As you see these two.
There. Who's backing off first? Jamie backs out of it.
However, will this line that he's taking now help him a little more? It looks like Jason has got through, although he has a penalty at the moment. That Ferrari of TGW has went off. I believe Rageman has selected the wet
King
for some reason.
King has hit a wall.
Oh dear. Not too great. That's a safety car. Yeah, we have now reached our limit here, so we cannot possibly have any more of these safety cars or VSCs.
As Denrod picks up a penalty for speeding under the safety car. So Mega Gamer and You Have the Giggle both in for a fresh set of inters. Jamie continues on. Jason is in for what? Oh, You Have the Giggle's gone for wets.
Yeah, that's a gamble.
So is Rageman.
But some others are going for wets too.
Wets as well. So does Indecisive. A lot of guys going for these full wet tyres. So, could this be another genius strategy call? But this time from Ferrari. I don't remember the last time you've ever seen a genius strategy call from a Ferrari team.
I suppose Austria was decent from them. In a way, as they were able to create a lot of offsets that really helped Leclerc keep ahead of Verstappen, even with able to utilise the pace of the Ferrari very well. But here, I don't know. Honestly, it's not the Ferrari management here. It is just the driver. See a lot of people going for the wets. And could we see maybe like a Mega Gamer who made one brilliant strategy call to get up there, now drop back because of another strategy call he didn't make.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? He made the right call for the inters, and he made the right call for the wet. Now I'm seeing quite a lot of puddles, a lot of standing water, whereas on that track. So, have they got it right or not? That's what I want to know. It's suppose we'll find out shortly when the safety car inevitably comes in. Although you did say it would dry up eventually, but it doesn't look like it. It only looks to be getting heavier.
Yeah, it's getting it. Oh, Kia's got a drive through. Oh, fuck's back. Oh, that's bad. Could be because them inters up. You might. That's probably why. And now that's a race effectively ruined. Because that kind of penalty cannot be served until we get racing again.
True. Very true. It's
Mason switches to wets. I think he's got a gap here, so it won't be too much bother.
I'm watching Denver, just getting very close to the back, when indecisive in front of him. Hopefully this is the last lap of the safety car. The last safety car we're probably gonna get, unless we get a VSC at some point. But waiting for the green flags. Now, as we'll just run you through your order. We've got Mega Gamer, who's currently leading, followed by Jamie, Jess, You Having a Giggle, TTG King, Jason, Kaya, Indecisive, Denrod, Mason, Kingin, Infamous, Fozzie Bear, Rageman, and TJW. And so far, the non-finishers are Smithy Chris, Matthias, Tebow, and Baza. As the safety car now comes out onto the back straight. We're now about to find out if it is going to come in or not. So here we go. I believe we are getting another lap under safety car. So they're going to have a 10-lap sprint to the end.
Yeah, we TJ. Let me see here for a second. TJ doesn't have a wing, so we could be here for a bit of time. And we'll
I think eventually they'll just go without him because it's that far back.
That is. So now your order at the moment is top 3 on Inters, then you have Gigabee and Wets, King on Inters, Jason Wets, Kia Inter, then Wets for Indecisive, then on Mason, King in on the Inter, and the Fosbear West, Rageman Wet, Infamous pitting here. Now onto the wet, and then TJ on the wet.
I think it definitely is time for the wet tires. There's a lot of standing water out there, too much for the Inters to handle maybe.
Yeah, there is a crossover point, but I think if he wants to eventually dry up a bit, these Inters will come back into play.
Okay. But the rain just seems to be getting heavier for the moment. Very heavy downpour here in Miami. Not too unusual, I believe, for this type of downpour here, but not experienced it in real life yet. A wet race in Miami, but here we go. As there's a bit of fuffling going on as Kaya got past Indecisive. And now they're fighting over who's got what, who's in the right position or what. And they've now stopped on the track. They've stopped half the field now.
Oh. It's yeah, you can get a bit messy in the safety car. You see, now the others are going to have to catch. We won't be going this lap either. It does mean for TJ's.
So
we are. Kia's got it.
We just haven't quite got to the.
Jamie's out. Jamie's out. Crashed into the safety car. He just jumped to the air. He crashed into the safety car. That is a huge incident there for someone who was very at the forefront of this grid.
What has happened to Jamie?
Wait, Jess is now leading.
Jess is now leading this race. Jess is away.
Jess has got away.
What's going on here?
I don't know what to tell you. Miami seems to be very much breaking the laws of physics here.
Under full safety car conditions for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's now we're going green. Nope.
No,
We're back under.
Okay, now
No,
we're
back
going.
green again. We're good. Now we're going.
It did take a bit of time.
Chess is leading the race.
Yes, this is an opportunity for Chess to kick off this season in style. As well, you were saying, going under the
I have
radar.
to say, you have the Gill has made the correct strategy choice here.
Yeah, but he's on so slow here. Yeah,
Mega Gamer through that corner.
He needs to just clear the water there and make sure to see Jason.
Behind.
Yeah, Jason using his weather skills.
Oh, Jason's clonked the wall.
Along with the giggle.
He's missing his end plate. Jason's missing his end plate. He's just clonked the wall quite heavily.
For someone who was on pole by almost a second in wet conditions at Spa from Sean last week in the preseason race, it's a bit of an
You have the giggle's just been tagged by Jason.
It's a tap around. Only good thing, suppose, is you're going that slow, you're not going to lose that much time. But even still,
you're not going to hit a wall either going that slowly.
The good news
surely
is
Jason has to give that position back for tagging him round.
I don't think he'll be giving it back, but you could have a penalty, which will.
It could go to the stewards for that. He's now up to second place, Jason, with a missing end plate.
See now.
He's now on the hunt for Jess. Turn one, will he make a dive? No, he won't.
Oh, but Jess is showing there a bit, although it isn't raining as hard as it was. So
the rain seems to be easing off, so maybe the Inters
will come back into play here. But Jess, we'll see that flashing light isn't ERS, don't worry. That is just standard protocol for wet conditions. Jess is going with slow. Jason managed to get the inside line. He's now up to P1, but with a penalty and a potential investigation for himself.
From the stewards.
From the stewards.
He's now just taking off in the straight as Mega Gamer is back past Jess.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Just slowly falling further down the path. But could the intermediates be coming back into play here?
It depends,
Was there
really.
no need to go on to those full wet tires for a couple of laps? Have to find out in its last few laps, because it doesn't even look like it's really raining anymore. You don't see the droplets coming down as heavily now.
You see Mega Gamer going down the straight here, but yeah, I think we could be reaching that crossover point again.
GTG King is up the inside.
The important moves here. You see Denrod has managed to get them both. Is this good? Oh no!
He's just almost pushed them into a wall.
Oh, he has been sent to the pits. These two have been sent to the pits. Yeah, well, they may have wanted to get to the pits. I think they're switching back to Inters. The Inters seem to be the right call now. If there hadn't been a safety car, the wets could have been the absolute right call. But this safety car basically glossed over the wet period, and now we're back to Inters. So, well, Jason could find himself having to lose that first place on track anyways.
Yes, it looks like Mega Gamer is catching here.
I think Jess will be under pressure here.
Jess is under pressure for GTG King.
Yes, King is off the podium for now. But obviously Jess could
all these guys on wets will probably have to change.
Yeah, because Inters being faster than wets would be much worse
I have
for
to say, you can definitely see a dry line forming on the track. So at this point, I will definitely say that the intermediates are the tire of choice. But you can still make those wets work if you stick to the parts of the track where there's a lot of standing water.
Yeah, you could be going offline here to make sure you keep the intermediates cool. Because you just see some little lines there that might be where you'll be keeping your wheels in. At the moment, Jason's doing a good job.
Under pressure from Fuzzy Bear. Fuzzy Bear is
Oh, there's Raceman out.
Raceman is out.
Out, but that will not be a safety car. We have reached our limit at this point, so the chaotic first half of this race means that if you crash now, well, one, you're out, but it's also if anyone's falling far behind, they won't be brought back into this.
Oh, Mega Gamer is gaining on Jason up ahead, but Jason has almost all of his ERS left, while Mega Gamer's used at least half of his. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a very easy move. It should be an easy move, but Jason is sticking there for now. So into turn 11, braking inside line proves to be the right one for now. Mega Gamer will probably want to start pretty much toying with Jason, set it up.
He's trying his best to set it up here.
Surely at this point the intermediates would have the grip here over the wets, but it seems like Jason, it's tracks are wet enough for him. It's probably just a case of that.
Fuzzy Bear's lining up Jess now. Here comes Jess, defending for all she's worth here. She's wanting to keep that 4th place no matter what. Fuzzy Bear's off line a little.
Yeah, you see now the Alpine needs an exit here. Looks like it's kept with the Williams. But obviously no DRS here.
Go for it, or we're going to be patient.
No, it wouldn't make sense to go for it there. Probably is hoping for a slip up. Oh, yeah.
Free. There's been
oh, yeah, the Gigamate. It's just not really went his way today for the most part. No front wing in that Ferrari.
Jason's got Mega Gamer all over his rear end. As Mega Gamer's got the inside line here.
And he's finally through. Mega Gamer, who met the call for inters that saved his race from being one of disappointment, has now managed to get himself back into lead, but Jason was keeping there, but has now eventually had to concede. And well, he's honourable defence of P1.
Jason has got a 3-second penalty.
That could really come into play here, especially if these wets just start being much slower. As you see how the track is just so much drier. Oh no, King's got a penalty as well now. This could invite Jess back into play here if she's able to find a bit of pace compared to those in front.
Yeah, I think Jess would quite happily take that 4th place, but there is a podium up for grabs here. It just depends how much Jason struggles. Jason's coming in.
He's in.
Jason is coming in.
That means that Jess will end up on the podium. You see now.
It's going to be a podium for Jess today.
Well, don't want the cursor. Indecisive is has a little bit of an off, and I presume will be off them wets soon enough. Or staying out here, maybe thinking what I'd lose would be not so much.
Oh, Fuzzy Bear's round. Fuzzy Bear is round. This doesn't have the grip. As we've got a Mason off exploring on his tyres, as Kingan is now up to 4. So we've got a Williams 3rd and 4th here. So as it stands, I believe Williams will take the lead in the constructors.
Well, that could be 2nd and 4th here, because Jess has now slipped into the 3 seconds of gain. So that will be even more points for the
gaining on people.
The Williams outfit.
Got 4 laps to catch up. Will it be enough? I'm not too sure.
So
yeah, we'll watch the gap between Jess and King is an interesting one. Will Jess settle for position, or will she go for that P2?
I think at home you just take care of things, make sure you secure the points, because see, the point system here is from 1st to 12th. Winner gets 20 and the lowest, which is 12th, gets 1 point. So that is your case as a now. So it is 2017 14 for your podium. So if you get 14 points, you're not going to complain, especially at the start of a season where you're just hoping to get a little bit of consistency going. But if you get a good result to start off, it can really prop up your season.
Yeah, it's a very good result for the guys.
Oh, Ozzy there in the pits, so
yeah,
clearly hasn't
lost his front line, remember?
Yeah. So you have to just hope these Inters can provide the pace they've been looking for.
Jason's absolutely thick to the floor here, trying to catch Mason. He's about just over a second back. So we could be looking at a move very shortly.
You'll see now how much is gaining. Obviously with the ERS, but the gain of time here is, oh well, now that you get to the end of the straight, it doesn't really matter about the tyre, because you're set up
on those wets.
Yeah, you see now, once you actually need the performance of the tyre, you are going to struggle. Jason will be thinking about making that move. Oh, but oh no, I thought Jason hit a wall there for a second. However, now Jason will be able to pass Mason. So to the left and ahead.
So he's got 2.5 seconds to Kingen up ahead. So what is going to happen? Will he catch him before the end of the race? We're on the same tyre compound, but Jason's are a lot fresher. Jess is in.
Oh, Jess
has
in?
come in for fresh inters.
Oh, she might have reached the end. Could have been a puncture.
Could have, but oh, that has got to be.
That's unfortunate.
Utterly heartbreaking for Jess. It's
Only
got to be
thing that might save her.
A couple of laps.
I don't know if there's much of a saver. At least another Williams will be on the podium, so she hasn't given up that podium spot.
Not even necessarily true here.
Well, with penalties,
I suppose, but
I don't know if Jason will be able to gap Kingham as well. Well,
he's got the tyre life to do it, I think.
Well, yeah, but Inters can get better as you race on them.
Oh, that's very true.
So the tyre wear, I think, well, King was, well, his task isn't working, so I suppose we can't really judge from him. Mega,
his task isn't working.
Mega Gamer was on 11 laps. No tyres weren't too bad. I think Jess had been on her set of Inters for a long time.
She'd been on them like 14, 15 laps, but
yeah,
I don't know. I imagine she'd be able to drag them another 2 laps to the end. That's going to be seriously heartbreaking. 2 laps from the end and being forced to quit.
Well, I have to say, to Mega Gamer though, a brilliant call has ensured that he's had practically an easy ride to the win, and but you have to say, you have to make that call to gain some, to get yourself back into it, especially after one the start as indecisive as tapped the wall on the start finish straight, and I'm presuming that's knocked off an end place. Somehow no.
Yeah.
But it does have damage to the right hand side of that front wing, so it isn't visible, but it will be felt.
Yep, so here goes Jason around the outside of into turn 11, so he's got a lap and a half to pull a 3-second gap.
Indecisive
It
as
is
a
possible, but it's gonna
has got a
have to
penalty.
be foot to the floor.
Fozzie Bear making some overtakes here on the recovery. Obviously can't really do much more, but it is a place gained. DRS is enabled. Is anyone gonna maybe even try a slick here?
No, there's one final lap of the race here.
Yeah, it's final lap, yeah. Don't anyone will do it. Well, I don't know. If someone...
He's almost got a 2-second gap already, Jason.
Yeah,
Almost
Jason is pulling a gap here. So you see Denrod and Hangiga Mate.
1.5 seconds. He's got a gap to pull. 1.5 seconds here.
Yeah, he could realistically do it at this point. But obviously he could be under investigation here, even still.
Mason. Jess is gonna get Mason into turn 1 here.
Yeah, he's moving to turn 1. The DRS ensures that move is done. So now Jess is going to be 9.6 off the teammate, and even still you would say 5th place for on the first outing in this season is fairly good. Get some decent points on the board to kick off the season.
What's the gap between Jason and King is 2 seconds?
Yeah,
so
could be tight now.
Be very tight from here on out.
You see now the track's just dried out. It is slick worthy, but we've just been 1 lap too late. Mega Gamer now will not care, for he has made the calls. He has gotten back to the front after a spin at the start, and he is going to win the opening race here in Miami. So now King
out of the final corner. He's going to cross the line in second, but the gap we are all paying attention to is Jason at his 3.1 seconds ahead.
He's got it for now.
Out of the last few corners, he comes, and he is going to bring it home
in a podium
in 3rd place.
Yeah.
So he has secured the podium. It's P4 and P5 for the Williams car. Mason brings it home in P6 now.
Yeah, Mason, he dragged it out with them wets, and he's on a well-earned P6 because going through that with the wet tyres, especially now that it is full slick conditions.
Infamous and Fozzie Bear on the run up to the line.
Did you see? Fozzie Bear's got it.
I think Infamous let him through, I don't know.
And all you see now, Hangiga Mate has ended up P8. Infamous P9, Indecisive P10, then up P11.
Has finished 12. Because Kaya down the back straight all alone. So we've had a dry to wet and an almost back to dry race here. I don't think we could have asked for a much better opening race of the season, to be honest. This has been just chaos from start to finish.
Yeah. It's been very much a chaotic Grand Prix, as it's been much like Austria in 2020, where we did see only 11 finish. In this case we had 13. In Miami this year did have some instances as we have multiple post-race penalties, some for Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo, and more if it does come to me, but there was a lot of penalties.
Here he comes on to the podium to take the top step and the trophy. He will now receive his trophy for winning the first ever One Hub Racing Miami Grand Prix. As I'll run through the finishing order. So Mega Gamer takes a commanding and well-deserved win after some genius strategy calls throughout the race. TTG King brings it home in second, and Jason comes home in third to round off the podium. Following that, we have Kingen and Jess in 4th and 5th in the Williams. Mason in 6th, followed by Fuzzy Bear in 7th. You have the Giggle in 8th, Infamous in 9th, Indecisive in 10th, Denrod in 11th, TGW in 12th, Kaya in 13th, and your non-finishers are Rageman, Jamie Matt, Smithy Chris, Matthias, Tebow, and Baza.
Well, Jamie Matt did still claim the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at the end for outside top 10. Or well,
you won't get the point for it because
yeah,
he didn't finish.
That is unfortunate for him. I would say now your driver of the day, I would personally have to give to Mega Gamer because you make the right call and you've been able to rectify your own mistake and clear off into the distance. And you've pretty much let a marker down, showed that even if I make a mistake here, I can still recover it.
Then I think I will give mine to... You know what, I would say Jason, but I think I'll give it to TTG King, considering he did slip under the radar. He started further down, but I was told by Gazad that, well, he expected him to do well, and he has. He's brought it home. I think it was from 7th to 2nd place, so an excellent drive from that Alfa Romeo. So I'm going to ask you, is you didn't have the best qualifying, but you've showed in the race that you have the pace to make up for a bad qualifying. So what is this to be expected from you from the remainder of the season, and do you think you're a genuine title contender?
I'd have to ask Mega Gamer here. Well, after that spin, did you think you could actually get back up to P1, or? And then also, I would have to ask, do you think this shows that you can really challenge for this championship title or even win it?
Well, I believe that is all from us for today, so a big thank you to everyone who has tuned in, and thank you for joining me in the commentary box. I've had a lot of fun tonight. It certainly cheered me up after yesterday and the horrible football, which Gaza will no doubt torment me for.
Yeah, that is all from us, so thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Liam for being alongside me, and that is all for folks. Make sure to check out the other tiers for some more great